The billionaire slammed his laptop shut so hard the sound echoed across the glass-walled war room. Not because the computer was broken, but because everything he had built over 20 years was seconds away from collapse. Servers were failing. Banking systems were glitching. Hospitals connected to his software were reporting errors. Every second that passed, millions of dollars disappeared. Reputations shattered. Lives were put at risk. Around him stood the best engineers money could buy, Hitis, award winners, industry legends. Yet none of them could fix one single bug. Then from the corner of the room, a soft, uncertain voice spoke. "Mr. I think I know what's wrong." The room froze. Then laughter broke out. Because the voice belonged to a little kid. Wearing a torn hoodie. Holding a battered old laptop. What no one in that room understood was that this child was about to save $1 billion empire. And in doing so, change his own life forever. Ethan Blackwood didn't believe in miracles. He believed in code. Logic. Numbers that always added up. At 43 years old, he was the founder and CEO of Blackwood Technologies, a company so powerful that its software quietly ran behind the scenes of banks, airports, hospitals, and governments. If your phone updated overnight. If your online payment went through in seconds. If emergency systems stayed online during disasters. There was a strong chance Ethan's systems were involved. He was called many things in the media. A visionary. A tyrant. A genius with no heart. Ethan didn't care. Feelings didn't scale. Results did. His office sat at the top of a glass tower overlooking the city, cold, spotless, silent. No family photos. No personal items. Just screens. Dozens of them. And on this particular morning, every single screen glowed red. "Confirm the error log again," Ethan said, his voice low and controlled. The head engineer swallowed hard. "We've checked it 4 times, sir. The system is stuck in a recursive authentication loop." "That's impossible," Ethan replied. "That code was tested for 6 months." "Yes, sir. But once the update went live, the loop began replicating itself." Another engineer spoke up. "It's spreading across connected systems. If we shut it down completely, we'll crash external networks." Silence fell. This wasn't a normal software failure. This was a digital chain reaction. Banks were already calling. Government agencies were demanding answers. Hospitals needed reassurance that life support systems would stay online. Ethan stared at the screens. For the first time in his career, he didn't have a solution. Several blocks away, 12-year-old Noah Carter sat on the curb outside the Blackwood Tower. His backpack was frayed. One zipper was broken. Inside it sat his most valuable possession, an old laptop held together with tape and hope. Noah hadn't planned to be there long. He had been hired by a small repair shop to deliver fixed devices to corporate clients. That money would help his father cover rent. Ever since Noah's mother died 2 years earlier, life had become a daily math problem that never balanced. School became optional. Food became uncertain. But code always made sense. Noah learned programming the way other kids learn video games. Trial. Obsession. He taught himself by watching free tutorials and reading forums late into the night. When the security guard waved him inside the building to drop off the devices, Noah had no idea history was about to bend. The moment Noah stepped onto the executive floor, he felt it. The tension. The fear hidden behind confident voices. Screens flashed endlessly. Engineers argued. Phones rang without pause. Noah's eyes locked onto the code scrolling across a massive display. His brows furrowed. "That's weird," he muttered under his breath. An engineer nearby snapped. "This isn't a place for deliveries, kid." Noah hesitated. "I'm sorry, I was just..." He pointed at the screen. The authentication function is calling itself instead of returning the token. The room erupted in laughter. Ethan turned sharply. "Who let a child in here?" Security stepped forward. But the head engineer suddenly froze. "Wait," he said. He leaned closer to the display. "Run that line again." The laughter faded. Ethan stared at Noah. Every instinct told him this was a distraction. But desperation has a way of lowering pride. You have 5 minutes, Ethan said coldly. If you're wrong, you leave. Noah nodded. No excitement. No fear. Just focus. He set his backpack down and opened his laptop. The room fell silent except for the rapid tapping of keys. Noah explained as he worked. The loop happens because the system doesn't know when to trust itself. You built it to question everything. Ethan stiffened. That's intentional. I know, Noah replied softly. But sometimes, you have to let the system believe it's already safe. A final keystroke. The screen refreshed. Red turned to yellow. Yellow turned to green. System stable, the monitor announced. Gasps filled the room. Phones stopped ringing. The impossible had happened. Ethan slowly approached the boy. How did you see that? He asked. Noah shrugged. I've broken my own programs that way before. The engineers stared in disbelief. Years of experience. Solved by a child. Ethan dismissed everyone else. The war room emptied, leaving just the billionaire. And the boy. How old are you? Ethan asked. 12. Why aren't you in school? Noah looked down. My mom used to say I'd change the world one day, he said quietly. Then she got sick. Ethan felt something tighten in his chest. She never got better. Noah continued. So now I help my dad. Fix things. That's what I'm good at. For the first time in years, Ethan didn't see an employee. He saw himself. Ethan slid a card across the table. I want to sponsor your education, he said. Private school. University. Anything you need. Noah's hands trembled. Why? Ethan answered honestly. Because the world almost missed you. Tears rolled down Noah's face. The board was furious. A child? This looks irresponsible. Ethan stood firm. Talent doesn't care about age, wealth, or background. He launched the Blackwood Future Minds program. Noah was the first scholar. 10 years passed. Noah stood on stage as lead architect of Blackwood's most important system. Ethan watched from the front row. The bug that almost destroyed everything had saved them both. Sometimes, genius walks past us unnoticed. Sometimes, it wears a torn hoodie instead of a suit. Sometimes, all it needs is one person willing to listen. Subscribe for more powerful, life-changing stories.